good. And Telegram community again. I
Yeah,
forgot to
that's fine.
send an email, so I don't think there's going to be much people today. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, Ken should be
Wonderful.
joining any moment. Hey guys, hope
Yeah.
you can hear us, you can see us. Hello Chaitanya, hello the great one, and Hardik. How are you doing, guys?
Hey everyone.
Oh, Ken is also here. Okay, perfect. Let's invite him as well. Yes, clearly, Jake. Thank you, Chaitanya, for confirmation. Hello, Ken. How are you doing?
Hey man. How are
Hey
you?
guys, yeah, good. You guys?
I'm great. I'm finally
doing
talking
great.
today.
Yeah, what happened?
Just technical issues, but we're back on track.
Good man, awesome, love that. Good to hear.
Okay,
Alright.
so let me also notify a Discord community so we get ready rolling. Also about the chat. Hello, Paul and Pagari, Google Look. How are you doing, guys? Titania, Angel looks confident.
It was the first stream. You guys got to be aware of that.
Yeah, I mean, on my first stream, I just let Ken talk the entire time because I wasn't used to it. So I just passed mic to Ken immediately, and I'm just staring with a red face into the computer. I'm doing great. Perfect. Angel focus. Evening, guys. Okay. Let's give it a moment, guys, till everyone join in so we give chance to everyone,
that's
and
fine.
then we will dive in.
Fine.
Let's open trading view.
Hey, there we go.
Very interesting. The pound with dollar is forming very interestingly to me. Are you going to talk about pound dollars, Ken?
I will cover pound dollar. Oh yeah, G is flying. I was just giving a clap because my EU position's looking pretty sexy right now.
You bought? You in a long?
Yeah. Yeah, there was.
Nice.
I'll sort of break it down, but I'm in some longs right now. So
Yeah, I saw an analysis on the XY this morning where you were calling shorts.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I'm also considering it. It doesn't look bad at all. The EU still. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're gonna hit the 1.18 level, so they're still 37 pips away.
Yeah, man.
Doesn't look bad at all.
Yeah, just grinding down yesterday's highs right now. Should.
Where did you enter, actually?
So I got in at 117.25. So
117.25.
Yeah, just after New York sort of coming into play.
Okay.
I've been sitting patiently for it all day. Yeah, I've been sitting patiently for it. It's like clockwork, euro dollar, which I'll talk about in a moment. But it's like clockwork. We're getting that, that sort of test of the Asian range low, liquidity sweep coming into New York, and then boom, rocket moves. Same thing happened yesterday. We're seeing it again today.
Yeah, I'm basically now watching the GU because we reached the golden zone, which is 50 and 61% Fibonacci retracement. But I think the level 1.36 is right now really strong. Not just the golden zone or Fibonacci, but also the price reacted here so many times on 4-hour time frame and lower time frames as well. So I think it's going to be a little bit more harder for GU to break above again. But if we do, which I would love to, then we are again open towards 1.38. Depends if pound will keep its strength and dollar weakness. But based on the tariffs deal that is closed between US and UK, I think we can break above.
Yeah,
Let me
I agree.
see if there's something else. What about gold? What's gold doing till before we reach actually the 3.44, almost $2 away. But we said it on the live stream where we were at this level. So we have pretty much $50. And right now we're probably just retesting the trend line again. But I think we can make the new higher highs, which are right now at 3,450. could be a good opportunity to re-enter the market. Okay, Ken, ready? Or are you finishing something?
Yeah, no, I'm all good. I'm all good to rock and roll.
I don't think that Andrew wants to start, I guess. So
I can start if you guys wish me to do so. I mean,
okay, let me ask the chat actually. Guys, do you want
whatever the chat wants, the chat gets.
Yeah, do you want to start with Ken again? Or do you want to, like Ken with his firstly fundamental Forex, then going to gold, or would you like to start today with indexes?
We will love to see that long on EU.
We want account review. Account review is going to be tomorrow, which is Thursdays. Wednesdays are market analysis again. Just passed second phase over in a truck. Congratulations, Sam. So I guess Ken, I'll pass the mic to you.
Okay.
I'll start sharing, and we can keep the strategy from Angel.
Yeah, Angel will come next then, I guess. All right. Let me share my screen.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just so you know, guys, tomorrow, 6 p.m., another account review. Last week, we've covered a very interesting trader, just to share with you guys as well. It's a UK-based trader called Steven, I think. He's been trading with E8 since 2023, and every month he gets 1 to 3 payouts. So basically, he started trading 25K account on 2023. Then he built himself up. That's why I'm always saying that account size at this point doesn't matter, because once you got simulated fund ed, you make money, you can purchase new accounts, and you can scale as much as the Steven, starting in 2023 with 25K account, and right now he's trading 400K account. Oh, nice. 3 accounts combined of 400K.
The guy's killing it.
Yeah, this guy is. He did 7 payouts this month. I mean, he made in total made $100,000, and just this month, last payout was on 17th, but 7 payouts, each was like 3.5, 4K. So absolute monster, this guy.
Oh, that's crazy.
Absolute beast.
Yeah. Google. Yeah, that was the last person from last Thursday's account review. S&P Trader. Yeah, that was the S&P Trader, Chatanya. Okay, so yeah, Ken, mic is yours.
Yeah, man. Let's get it cracking. Euro's obviously popping to the upside. We mentioned it on top down. We always go top down, just so you guys know the crack. Obviously, I said on Monday that I would still lean towards that. We're going to see that downside pressure for the dollar. You'd favor sort of Euro fundamentals in comparison to dollar. Remember, if we look at the naked chart for a moment, let's just remove all these scary drawings. But we had this gap during this pullback period for Euro. So we gapped to the downside. We staged what we could review as a new higher low here. We formed. You can also look at this candlestick at the end of the day. It's indecisive, right? It's a slowdown of momentum of sellers after this initial selling momentum. Slowdown when we got the upper wick and the lower wick and a small body. Generally signals a bit of indecision and loss of momentum. And I like to call that, potential reversal candlestick. So long as obviously validates with a closure above, this week. But anyway, I was eyeing that, saw obviously this gap wanting to be filled, as we mentioned on the last stream. The daily yesterday was nice and bullish. Okay, obviously a big bullish candlestick there yesterday. I was very surprised if we were, going to start pulling back, given the big rejection of the Dixie, which we'll look at in a moment. So that's sort of daily. 4 hour, I was monitoring this. So obviously, look, you can see it's very clear in terms of this sort of ladder. So why I call it a ladder is because we're taking steps up, or a staircase. We've got our high, low, high, low, high, low. And this is what I was waiting for. Now, if I drop down to the 15 minute, because it's where I entered. So, as I say to you guys always on the stream, right? When it comes to my Euro, my GU, okay, mainly EU. EU's more of my baby. For many years, GU was, but I'm liking the way EU's trading at the moment, because this the fundamental difference, the divergences between Eurozone and US are just pretty nice right now. So obviously, I've always got my Asian range marked up, and I like to observe what happens in terms of price action, whether we get that liquidity sweep at London or at New York. You see at the moment, we're getting that liquidity sweep, the clean sweep sort of test of the Asian range low at New York quite consistently. Look here at New York open, where again, we challenged the Asian range low, and then boom, big buy momentum come into play because structure was bullish. You know, structure was already bullish here, right? And then we consolidating subject to a reload of those buys. Same thing happened today, right? All of this consolidation. We had the liquidity sweep here. Obviously, Asian range low is here. We came all the way down. And you remember when I'm looking to enter the A plus for me is when we get this reversal candlestick and then a validation with a bullish closure above. So as soon as we had that closure, I literally just entered it a few minutes before the closure, entered, and then took those longs. Now, for me, this was the target. So this is the target here. I don't know what's happening there, but this was the target, Asian range high. So typically speaking, I'm looking for the Asian range high, right, as the first target. And then obviously that's my intraday trade. So this was my intraday trade done. But then I also have a swing trade, which I'm expecting to run in towards, I'm going to look to run it in towards 119. So 118.80 is the upper target. And you just sort of see here left. It's basically an approach to this zone. I'm being a little bit conservative by going for 1880 just ahead of the next major zone. Now I will, if you ask me, are you going to take partials along the way? I will look at taking 25% off the table once we get to here, these highs, okay, the highs of the month, because obviously naturally we'll probably will hit some resistance around there. So I will take some profits there, but this will probably be our higher high. Okay, we're running for the higher high now, and somewhere up here will probably be this higher high, and then we'll pull back, higher low, and then do business and run into that zone. That's what I'm looking for. And again, it just comes down to capitalizing because things are quite quiet at the moment. So far, from Monday to Wednesday, things are quiet in terms of economic events. Obviously, we've still got a lot of news with these the tariffs. But it's all dollar. Dollar's getting smashed to pieces. Yields have been coming down. I think we bounced today a little bit. But dollar's getting smashed, right? We had that lower high. Okay. We had that gap here. So that gap's being filled. See, bearish engulfing so far. And you can see what we're doing. We want to go and print a new lower low now. And when you look left, we're likely to take out 96. Okay. When you look left, I think it could happen like around here, this lower low. Okay, in around 95.50, 95.00. Then we print a lower low for a potential lower high, and then another dip. You know, so until anything changes the structure, and I was, you know, I thought there was the possibility, right? I thought there's a possibility that dollar had a chance. It did have a chance because inflation was higher, right? And then rate cut bets got reduced, but it's not enough. It's not enough, just given all this uncertainty. The Fed independence under question. You know, the tariffs, it's just markets are just, we need something massive and to really shift those flows back. So yeah, continued selling pressure. And look, we had a breakout when you look here as well. Nice little breakout of a flag channel. And that's obviously the flip side to what you're seeing with Euro with that big bull flag that we've just broken out of. So I'm loving this buying pressure right now. And I think as I say, we're going to print a higher high here. So that's sort of Euro. Present. Go on, Jake. You probably want to say something.
No. I was just chatting with people on the chat because they were asking about the GU and EU if it's too late to enter. So basically, what I was saying is that with the GU, I'm waiting because, as I was saying at the very start, there's this golden zone of Fibonacci that fits perfectly the resistance zone. So I'm waiting what's going to happen there because I think that the level of 1.358. Up to 1.362 is very important. And if we won't break, I won't be taking longs on GU till that happens, the actual break. But on EU, they were asking me if right now it's a good place to go for a long. And I think for scalping, it still might be. I strongly believe that we will hit the 1.18 level, which is 36 pips away. So as a scalper, it doesn't look bad at all. I mean, I'm not saying any investment or trading advices, but for me, it still looks very bullish.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there is still, as Jake says, definitely, I agree with you, Jake. There is, I'm pretty confident that we're going to head into 118. There's no, obviously, I'm a bit my bias. I'm a bit biased because obviously I have the trade running, but naturally, like when you look left, that's where we're going to get sucked into this madness here, into here, and then we evaluate what happens here. The only thing is, if you are a scalper, fair. And again, not financial advice, but if we were to look at potential opportunities for entry, if you want to scalp and potentially run into 118, if we're saying, are we not too late? You might not be too late. For me, what I would, again, not financial advice, but you see, like, for example, here where we had this high of 21st of July, which is obviously a couple of days ago on Monday. Now, we don't always get it, but obviously this is naturally going to be resistance here, right? Around this area where that wick is. And you see where we had this candle push above, then this is a retest. This is the wick retest. Sometimes we get a candle retest where we'll come here, then reversal candlestick, then up. But here we've got a wick retest. So if we probably drop down to the 5 minute, okay, we'll probably see a nice little retest there on the lower time frame. Yeah, okay, sexy. So look here, for example, breakout, retest, yeah, and that staged a reversal candlestick, a little bit of a pin bar, boom, buy momentum. So if you ask me, is it too late? Potentially not. We'll keep an eye on a similar sort of price action happening here now. Obviously, we're going for this clearance. Okay, we're going for a clearance at this top, you know, and potentially there's going to be room for, once we get that breakthrough, whether it be the candle push it retest or the wick of the higher time frame, and then subject to resumption to the upside in towards obviously that psychological 118, which a lot of people are going to be targeting. So yeah, keep an eye on that as a potential. Obviously, it's a little bit late in the day now. We're at 20 past 6 p.m. London time. So obviously, naturally, that flow, that volume will slow down. But, you know, Euro's got some catching up to do. Look at GU. It's up 40 pips, Aussie 30. So it's got some catching up to do. So there's some room there to continue to.
And actually today, a lot of people made quite nice profits on GU and EU. Longs, of course, because the giveaway started yesterday and some accounts were given today because of the delay. But actually today, 3 people passed on GU longs.
Nice.
So yeah,
that's very great.
Yeah. So GU still kind of now, just as I was saying, hit the resistance, but still bullish, guys. Still bullish. And congratulations to those of you who passed. If you're here. I'm going to post them again on Instagram, but if you hear, congratulations.
Yeah.
Also, someone is asking about. Yeah, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, because you mentioned GU a few times. I don't know if did you share your screen?
Yeah. I've already shared, but I can also take a look at US dollar Japanese yen, which I would like to ask for your opinion on. Do you have? Should I do the screen sharing, or do you have some sort of analysis on this pair?
Let me bring it up.
Yeah, you can check.
Have you marked up your chart already with UJ?
Kind of looking at it right now, to be honest.
Okay.
Because we are approaching the 1.46 level, which is also 146 level, which is also 50% Fibonacci. I don't know if the dollar will be strong enough to actually reverse there, but in my view, I'm not putting my faith in dollar nor Japanese yen at this moment.
Agreed.
Because I think the Japanese yen might get stronger as we get closer to the end of the year. But at this point, not really seeing that. So both currencies, just for you guys who were asking it in the chat, both currencies are kind of very vulnerable for me at this moment.
Yeah, Jake, I'm 100% aligned with you there. 100%. Perfect. It's like, for me, it's a stay away pair right now.
Yeah,
as he says, because we've got this political instability in Japan, right? There's a lack of sort of leadership now with the Japanese Prime Minister Ishiba. He's lost a lot of support from a lot of his own party members as well. And obviously, I know Trump announced this sort of, it's not fully done yet. It's not a fully done deal, but it's partial Japanese trade deal, on cars and stuff. But there's a lot of uncertainty still. And especially with Japan not raising rates now until 2026, maybe even later than March 2026. It's just not the best pair to be going with at present. Like, there's weak dollar fundamentals and weak yen fundamentals at present. It's just not. Look at it. There's a lack of commitment anyway for a while. Look at it. It's ranging basically. Yeah. So I'm aligned with you. I'm not a fan.
If you want to, I can share a screen for a while.
Yeah, man.
For a second. What I see on USD Japanese yen. So basically, if you can see my screen, I'll be probably, if you're trading this pair, which I wouldn't at this moment, I would love to see what happens here on 146, because this zone is pretty much right now the support. It's kind of wide support from 145 to 146, but it's probably the strongest one. If you can separate it. You can have one level. You don't have to do the zone. One level on 146, and second level on 145. But I think, in my view, 145 is stronger, as it is still aligned with what I was saying earlier, the golden zone on Fibonacci retracement, which I kind of testing in past few months, and especially on lower time frames, it works pretty well. So at the same time, as we were saying so many times, if you have currencies that are both vulnerable, I wouldn't recommend to trade them. I mean, that's why I'm using these indexes that I'm going to talk tomorrow about, and basically just take a look which one is right now strong, which one is right now weak, and trade rather that than trading two very vulnerable, very weak currencies. Yeah. And also, someone was asking about my baby, Euro Australian dollar. So I'm going to take a look, because I don't know if you've noticed, but we were very, very bearish today. Kinda, for me, just a signal to get a better price for the longs. I don't know what's your opinion about Euro Australian dollar, Ken, but I'm still long. I mean, this kind of short bearish run doesn't change much for me.
Yeah, agreed. It's on the weekly, with structure's still holding. Structure's still holding. There's that, obviously, that long running trend line that we have for Euro Aussie as well over the weekly, and this sort of latest push to the north. I'm fully agreed with you. Obviously, we're testing the trend line right now, but you'd expect it to hold, just given the current fundamentals. And obviously, we saw weak jobs data from Australia last week. Unemployment rate jumped up from 4.1 to 4.3%. So if that doesn't get Miss Michelle Bullock, the hawk, moving with rate cuts, I don't know what will. So,
we'll see. But yeah, as Ken said, structure is still towards the uptrend. So higher lows, still forming higher lows. We've got another one right now. And still, for me, the target is 1.8, if not even the new high on 1.81, but at least 1.8, 1.98 approximately. That's where I'm heading to. So kind of just correction for me to find better entries, to be honest.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so that's the Euro Australian dollar. Do I have anything else that I wanted to talk about based on the chat? Yeah, we were also talking about the euro pound, which I was saying that I'll be expecting some sort of side trend, which we right now have, and I think it will continue this way for at least this week. We've got 2 days left, but I think we'll go back up, then a little bit down, and I think we will form some sort of a zone. That's as for the Euro GBP, which I don't like to trade, actually, to be honest, the zones, because I mostly rather focus on trending markets. Let me check the. Yeah, people also.
The chat would like to see.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, the chat would like to see UCAD and gold whenever you have the chance.
Yeah, UCAD is the pair from Ken, which, if I'm not mistaken. And gold, I'll just quickly share the chart of gold, which I was saying, just touching the trend line again. As we said on Monday's live stream, when we were somewhere here, we're going to get towards the 3.44, which we did, like $2 short, but close enough. But I think what's happening right now is just retest of the trend line, and we are going to soon just turn back, heading towards new highs.
Yeah, man.
Okay. I'm going to have some sort of analysis for USD CAD, because I think that was the pair that you were analyzing on Monday.
Me?
Yeah.
Did someone say EuroCAD as well?
Did
EuroCAD? I cannot remember.
Or dollar CAD?
Oh, yeah. Dollar CAD, but you can do both.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, let me quickly share my screen. I'll start with dollar CAD, seeing if someone's Someone spam the chat.
Yeah, someone really wants to. Someone is
yeah.
in the EuroCAD short, most definitely.
Yeah, man. Let me share. Okay. Oh, yeah, guys. The thing is with dollar CAD at the moment is it's almost similar in a way. Let me just share my screen. It's a bit similar to dollar yen in terms.
You're still not sharing?
Sharing?
You're sharing. Yeah, you're sharing. Sorry, I'm sorry. You do.
Yeah. No, good, man. So if you ask me, am I bullish or bearish? I'm definitely bearish. The structure is obviously to the downside. With dollar CAD, sometimes we just really range before we get, those extended moves. And obviously we're going for a range period right now, subject to a breakout to the downside. Obviously you can see the structures south, but on this daily sort of right now, we're just sort of ranging. We could argue that potentially, obviously this is a top, a near term sort of double top. Obviously, this is all of our neckline of support. Either way, if we don't class it as a double top, it doesn't matter. We're still, obviously, there's heavy resistance here and a run up to 181 into 138. And obviously now we're testing that key area of support, protecting 3600. Once that gives way, it probably we should see some stops being triggered to the downside. So there'll be everyone that's taking longs on this. Obviously, will have their stops at this level. You can clearly see. We'll most likely get a burst of momentum, and that will play catch up as well from everything else. Yeah, everything else is sort of gaining on the dollar. This is a bit flat at the moment, and the reason being this is likely a bit flat, guys, is a couple of reasons. Okay, one, just quickly, oil markets are still very much subdued. Okay, so weaker oil prices is not helping CAD right now. And it's very important to note, guys, this is very important oil fundamental. There's a lot of supply in oil markets right now. These guys are crazy. They're pumping up production. US are ramping up production. Like Trump the other day said, drill, baby, drill. These guys are just pumping out like it's no tomorrow. So obviously when we have, a lot of supply of oil, not enough demand, prices are eventually going to come down, and that has an impact on CAD because a lot of Canada's export revenue, the main export revenue source is oil. Okay, so obviously if prices fall, that means less money in for Canada. If prices rise, that's more money in for them because they can charge more. Does that make sense? So anyway, this is why dollar CAD's a little bit rangy right now, and the fundamentals aren't that bullish in Canada either. But if you ask me technically, if we just focus on this technically, I like the downside. If we just drop down to the 4 hour, look, in this sort of 4 hour period right now, obviously we are printing lower highs, lower lows. We've just got this pullback. This may want to pull back a little bit further, and wait for that potential rejection. I don't know where it could. It's just sort of a case of sort of wait and see for this to pull back right now. On the hourly, yeah. Again, it's sort of consolidating, but maybe this breaks out a little bit, forms a lower high, and then we resume and head to the downside. Okay. But you can just sort of see the lack of commitment at present from this. But I ultimately expect this to just break out of this range. We could just look at this as a big, again, you guys know I like my flags, but this sort of flag pattern's holding at the moment, but subject to an extension to the downside. And that will be explosive. We'll look at 134.50, but then there's no reason as to, if that dollar bearish momentum stays the way it is, then we can come down to 132. Okay, but just allow this consolidation to play out. Don't just jump in and expect that breakout to happen from here now of that 136 because it's a big area. Just follow structure and just wait for that confirmation that we've got a new lower high. And then I'd look to, you're going to have better chances of success. Obviously, nothing's guaranteed, but better chances of success once you see that confirmation of that lower high to then swing it down to the lower low. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's my take on dollar CAD. Just quickly, lastly. Sorry, Jake, go on, you go.
Yeah,
you go.
If I just may add really quickly about USD CAD, I'm just checking the market sentiment because I use it also a lot. And right now, about 70% of retail traders are long. And still, the COT report suggests that investors, the big players, institutions, hedge funds, and so on, are short. So what they usually says to me is that we are going to create new lower low. Like when you have so much of a retail sentiment going long, and the big players are still going short, you're going to have a sweep towards the downside. I've tested so many times this sort of a strategy. I like to trade overbought or oversold retail sentiment market when it goes against the big players. It's a simple but very effective.
100% agreed. And you could these days, if you know the right prompts, you can put some good prompts into ChatGPT and it can pull up you know, that going against the retail sentiment. Like if you give it the right prompt, you can get like a general percentage. It will give you a percentage based obviously on the data, the latest sort of COT positioning data. And it will tell you, okay, 63% of the retail market is, for example, long dollar yen. And 30 something percent or whatever institutional players are short. So obviously not obvious, but it's sort of, you're more inclined to want to go against obviously what the retail players are doing. And when you do that, if you can get the prompt on ChatGPT, I will what I will do, I have a prompt for it, so I will send it to Jake and he can put it in the Discord if you guys want to sort of check it out. And give it a little test and a little play around. Obviously, don't take it for bait and don't take it as the be all and end all, but do it and do some back testing on it, see if it makes sense. Because it can just sort of save you from, you know, at the end of the day, CFTC's data is great, but you still need to take the time to digest it and all that. But obviously, ChatGPT is one of those things that can just help speed that up. So yeah, I'll do that anyway. I'll give you the prompts that I use. And then you can
that would be perfect. Just to simply put it, guys, about broker statistics and broker firm statistics, about 80 to 90% of retail traders are losing money, so you don't want to be on their side.
Exactly. Exactly. I was just going to jump over to EuroCAD just quickly. I mean, I'm not really a huge fan of this. I think someone mentioned it, so I just thought I'd bring it up. Like, obviously, the fundamentals in you'd lean towards the better fundamentals in Europe right now, 100%. You know, we had a massive bullish breakout there in the month of June. Weekly, we've had this. Obviously, we had a breakout here. There's a lot of consolidation going on. Nice big breakout, and now we're just consolidating. Like the structure's not as clean, but it's obviously clearly to the upside. Higher highs, higher lows, and obviously this daily, we're just going through this pullback period right now. Okay, near-term pullback, lower highs, lower lows, but we're breaking out of that. Okay, if you drop down to the 4 hour, the engine for swing traders, you'll see we're trying to grind out and break out of this pullback structure here and look for an extension to the upside. I'm not actively trading this, but I think someone just mentioned in the chat, so I'll just sort of cover it. But that looks subject to some further buy momentum. But it's not for me personally. Like, look at it's ugly one to trade. I don't like it personally, but yeah, potential further upside there for EuroCAD. Yeah, man.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Do you want to now, Angel, because chat is already asking for you, if you can show us your strategy, because
of course,
my stories, I said it's 45-minute window, which I think interests
everyone. It was a nice introduction, by the way.
Okay, it's yours, so go ahead.
All right, let's see if he can share the screen. Take your bets, guys. What do we think? The odds are we're going to be able to share the screen.
I think you need to stop sharing first, and then Angel can do that.
All right.
Are you sabotaging him? Actually?
All right, guys. Can you finally see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay, so finally. Yeah, pretty much as Jake was saying, I just trade like 2 time windows during the morning, which is like 10:50 to 11:10 and 11:50 to 12:10. All right, so that's pretty much ICT macros. I'm pretty sure you guys know about who ICT is. So I found that this macros a little works for me because most of the time when we get into that time, you already know where the prices tend to deliver, right? So I used a lot of liquidity sweeps just to scan with this previous session's highs and lows. Yep. So pretty much you have to wait until the current session takes a previous session high and low during this time window and just take the opposite direction. Of course, you need some sort of, a bias or where the price is kind of to go. But for now, I mean, for NASDAQ, I was seeing the price trading into this range right now, into this gap here in the daily time frame. So, well, we are trading into this gap. I'm going to be looking for longs, seeing all this momentum. So if this gap does not work and the price still tanks, I'm going to look for longs into the next gap, which is in the weekly time frame, which is this
Angel,
one.
sorry, very, very quickly, just because I reckon there's some people that don't understand what gaps are, maybe just, it might be good just to familiarize people with that.
So pretty much it's like an imbalance in price on a fair value gap. I think you mentioned this earlier as well when you were charting about the gaps. It's a pretty much where there's an imbalance in difference between buyers and sellers. You'll see that it's like some sort of pattern on the candles. I'm gonna show you guys it here. If you guys know what the gap is when you have 3 candles, it's a pattern of 3 candles when the wicks does not touch the other, right? So here we have 3 candles. You see this gap here, or this space between the wicks. That's the gap. It's where the price tends to retrace, to reverse, right? So that's some sort of point of interest where I tend to look, at least on NASDAQ, right? So this time, this was what I was looking for today. And this week is this gap on the daily time frame. So if we go to the 1 hour, hold on, let me just take that here. We can see we're still trading here. So if you look this as a structural way, it's gonna be like this is a leg, this is a retracement, and now we're going to pretty much do a new leg here between that gap. Right, so let's go real quick to the lower time frame. So as I was saying, I used a lot the previous session lows and high, right? So whenever you sweep a high of a previous session, whether it's Asian session, London session, you maybe wait for the price to trade on the opposite direction. If you guys can remember, Ken used show us a trade where it was taking the Asian session low, he took the longs on EU, and he was targeting the Asian session high. So pretty much has time-based liquidity. So that's very good on the index, on NASDAQ. It tends to do a lot. Whenever you take a previous session high or low, the next session is going to trade on the opposite direction. So that's very important. It repeats itself like most of the time during the week, at least 3 times a week, you'll see this setup presenting itself. So I use this setup during these times, during the macro times. So I just stick to this time to trade. I know I can miss a lot of trades, a lot of movements, but when there's a trade during the time windows, again, 10:50 to 11:10, 11:50 to 12:10. So you can see guys today. So I'm gonna show you today's trade. Right, so we swept London session low and Asian session low. As you can see, this is the opposite direction. It's going to be the London session high. Price trades into the gap again, and doing the 2 time windows, the price gave 2 opportunities to long. Here, this one and this one. So that's pretty much how I just filter like this posture, and I just trade only during this time. So it's pretty much like 40 minutes a day. So I can just do whatever, or just, get off the charts. If there is something during this time, fine. If there is not, well, there's no trade. So it's actually pretty simple. You just wait for a sweep, you just wait for the time, and you take the opposite direction. Futures is pretty much a little bit faster than Forex. It's trending most of the time. So you're not going to get like chopped. I mean, of course it can happen. You can get chopped at any day or during the week. But since this is mostly trending, the opposite direction is going to come and you'll have a target, which is very mechanical. So in this case, we swept the London session low. We are inside the gap during the time, and we would just go for the London session high. So that's pretty much the strategy that I'm using for futures. It's really nice. It's wonderful. So as of now, yeah.
It's just so I can understand it clearly. The criteria are mostly the fair value gap, and then just to find like the market structure. So basically, when we reach the fair value gap, you're expecting to bounce from it, whatever from the lower or higher point of the fair value gap, and then you are looking for the session. So kind of counter trading the Asian session.
The session is the most important thing of the model itself, because if you don't have a sweep of the previous session, then there's no trade.
Okay.
Right? because there are times where Asia just made the lot of the day, and then London just continuation, and then New York just straight away into one direction. So there are such days where you're going to be like, oh, I'm missing the movement. Okay, there's no trade. Nothing happens. There will be one day when you're going to see a sweep of the previous session, low and high, and then you're going to trade the opposite direction. So that's going to be the target, at least for day trading. I know you guys can hold a little bit longer, but for day trading, it is really accurate. Really accurate. If you guys back this a little bit, you'll see whenever we sweep a previous session high or low, pretty much most of the time, we're going to reverse from that point into the opposite direction.
Okay, it's interesting. Do you also hold those positions within the window, so just 2 hours, or once you open a trade, you just then let it run, or what's your entry-exit strategy?
Yeah, I will let it run to whatever the previous session high or low is. So, I mean, that will be pretty much the target. So, of course, if it's already 12, like the last macro, it's over, and we didn't made it to the target, I pretty much will close the trade because I have a shift to do. I have other things to do. I cannot just pay attention to the charts. So I'll just take the trade whatever I am on the trade.
Okay, that's interesting. I think a lot of people recognize kind of strategy, or I mean, it's not the first time, because I think when I was having the interview with Jared, he was also trading sessions and looking for liquidity sweeps, which is kind of right now very popular topic, but I haven't heard about someone having a window for trading.
This is also you can trade even without the fair value gaps or the gaps in price, because you need to see pretty much is the time. You need to see where the previous session high and low is, and just wait for the sweep and trade the opposite direction between the macros. If you don't have this between the macro, then you don't take a trade as well. So if you guys don't know about fair value gaps or imbalance or whatever you want to call it, you can just trade with the previous session highs and lows. So it works a lot within the futures. You can take the time to back this a little bit. You'll see that. As you can see, in EU works a lot. I used to trade euro dollar like 2 years ago, and my trade was always taking Asia high or Asia low, because it tends to move a lot during London. So I just trade the opposite direction. I give it like a range of 20, 15 pips, and then I just trade the opposite direction to look for a 1 to 3, 1 to 4. It was very nice on EU. So that's why, I mean, the trade that Ken took this morning is beautiful. That's something that you wanted to have it on the books, because it's beautiful. It's really mechanical, actually.
Yeah, I believe so. The sessions are very important in trading. And also someone is asking, does this model work only with indexes, or did you test it also on Forex or any other
I used to do the model on Forex first on EU, because like 4 years ago, I used to trade only EU and GU, UV dollar. And then I switched to futures for the same reason that, futures are like more faster. With Forex, sometimes you can get into the chop. It takes like 2 days to actually give the real move. In futures, there's always going to be a move. Not always, but most of the time you'll see like from one session to another session, and you have like a certain amount of points to get a target to trade. Yeah, it's really quick. It's wonderful.
Okay. Very interesting. I'm going to take a look at it, especially on the sessions, because I was never a big fan of sessions. I mean, I'm having nothing against it, but I wasn't actually paying attention to sessions when I was trading, when I saw the opportunity. But I think there's something on it, especially hearing it from more sides in past few weeks, months. So definitely something on it. And I think, Ken, you are also, as you said, right? You're also using sessions, mostly London session or New York session then.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, you'll see the same pattern repeating itself like during the week at least once or twice, where Asian session low gets taken or Asian session high gets taken, and you'll see the movement of the day on the opposite direction. It's like when the candle opens, it's going to trade first, to leave the high, and then it's going to close in the opposite direction. That's most of the time what the daily range is on the candle, on a daily candle. So that's why it happens with the sessions. So when you have a trade like that, it's really beautiful. So shots to Ken, who took that beautiful long on EU. It's just wonderful. That's a wonderful trade.
Cheers,
perfect. Thank you so much for sharing your strategy. I think
of course,
people find it helpful, especially those who don't trade indexes like me, because I don't think
YM
that...
is US 30. There's one guy in the chat asking.
I don't think that every strategy can be used across all of the instruments. So
of course, absolutely.
A lot of people find it very helpful.
Yeah. So for now, I'm going to keep looking for longs on Nasdaq, and so I'm going to look for the all-time highs to get taken, and then whatever happens after that, we don't know. All right. So, but yeah, so we're trending into this range, so we're likely to take this high. So I'll be looking for longs into the rest of the week. There was no news like Monday, Tuesday, and yesterday, so it was like kind of, hard to trade, at least for futures. They tend to move a little bit faster or better when there are news, like at 8:30, or at 10. When there are no news, you can get chopped as well. So that's a good tip for everyone who would like to start trading futures. Always pay attention to the macroeconomic news. So yeah, pretty much if you look at the SP 500, it delivered like better than Nasdaq because it took the gap, and pretty much the day after that, it just went straight up.
Yeah, also take the fair value gap. I mean, that's something that every one of you guys should take a look at, which is the fair value gaps. I mean, even 10 years ago when I was starting up, those things were still very trendy, and they are still at this moment. So I mean, you can use that in any analysis. I mean, technical
pretty much in every single asset. So as you can see Forex. Today, SP 500, we have, of course, bullish momentum getting into the market. And when does the longs get in? Once we swept the London lows during the session, right? So that's when you want to start looking for longs. When? During the macro time. Right, if you go to the macro time, you'll see a few opportunities today. Let me just take this session again. So you'll see a few opportunities today. This was the first macro. We have exactly the sweep during that time, and actually the low of the New Year's session during that macro time. And then there was another continuation opportunity on the second macro. So pretty much going long. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. Yeah, guys, so you see people who work for your market are not just some random people. They are traders, so they know what they're talking about once you have them on live chat. Let me just check quickly the chat. Do you also trade this on DAX or just US 30 and Nasdaq?
Yeah, I do trade the 3 index, which is ES, NQ, and US 30. Yeah, okay. US 30 is kind of like more, it's a little bit different because it's not always like cleaner such as Nasdaq and ES, but there are some days like the only one cleaner is US 30. So pretty much you gotta be looking at like which one is actually taking the previous session high and low, right? So that's the most important.
Okay, sounds good. Also, someone is asking, can we get a Bitcoin? Does anyone trade Bitcoin? I don't think Angel does. But
I don't trade Bitcoin. No. Not in that way.
Do you have something interesting about Bitcoin?
I do not. What about yourself, Ken?
No, I'm not actually trading it. I mean, there were times when I would margin trade it, but not right now. Not right now. Sorry,
we need a crypto guy here as well to look at the charts.
Not trading crypto at all. So sorry, guys. We'll try to find someone else who can specialize in crypto, so we cover all of the asset types.
Yeah.
Got right now 2 Forex traders. Ken is also indexes trader, so we've got kind of 2 indexes traders. But crypto is something that probably we all lose a lot of money on, so no one wants to get back to it.
You need someone. Yeah, you definitely need someone, because obviously you can apply the way you approach Forex to crypto, you can, but you kind of need someone that's plugged in, that's a crypto head, to really get that value, because obviously they're watching that, they're living and breathing that. There are differences at the end of the day. So your specific crypto trader would be better to bring in someone that specializes, I think. 100%. Yeah, man.
Okay, let me check if there's something else that we can discuss on the market, but I don't think so. The main ones we've discussed, we did EUGU, USD, Japanese yen. There's nothing that changed during the last few days, actually during the last few weeks, because still euro pound is kind of strong. Dollar had some good moments, but nothing that would convince me at this point that we are going to be bullish for upcoming weeks, months. And Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar still weak for me. Canadian dollar probably the same, and Swiss franc. I'm not going to speak about it because I speak about it every stream, but still strong. Actually, on Australian dollar, Swiss franc, we might get an opportunity as well as on euro, Australian dollar to get better entries. Let me quickly check the chat before we round up the session. Also, guys, what I wanted to mention is that Ken is sharing every week he will be sharing 2 or 3 short videos answering your questions from the stream. So if any of you here is kind of going through some challenging times, struggles regarding trading psychology, mindset, you want to build emotional resilience, any question that you might have from this field, just feel free to write it down into a chat. I'll always do screenshot those questions, forward it to JV because he will be joining us very soon again on the live stream, and then he will either answer it on the live stream or create a separate video on our EN Markets YouTube channel. So just so you know, feel free to anytime just leave the question in the chat. Okay, I think we're good to go, guys. I think we're good to go. If you don't have any markets to try, to analyze right now, I think.
Yeah, no, that's it from me.
All right. So then, thank you guys for joining in. Also to you, Ken and Angel, for sharing the strategy
of course.
you trade. I think people will find it really valuable. Also, you might combine it with your strategy if you're trading Nexus. And also thank you for everyone who joined in. Appreciate you guys. Also those who are very active in the chat. So thank you guys, and I'll see you on the Monday.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh no, guys. Well, I might not be here.
Yeah. Forgot to share with Ken. It's not 100%, but yeah, we should not be counting with Ken because he's going to Malaysia, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm going to Malaysia tomorrow. Yeah,
so
well, that's great.
I will see, because I'm going to be 8 or 7 hours ahead of you. So yeah, I'll have to figure it out. I'll let you guys know anyway.
Yeah, no problem. If we can cover it with Angel for next Monday. So enjoy your holiday properly.
Yeah, man. Have a great damn day.
Cheers, bro.
Yeah. So then, guys, on Monday you'll see me and Angel here. Potentially Ken, but me and Angel are pretty much sure. So thank you guys for joining in, and Monday it is. Cheers, guys. Take care.
See you guys. Thank you.
Cheers.